The replay analysis 7.27c. This one's going to be one from Elo Chan. This is going to be an Omni Knight. I believe it is an off-lane Omni Knight with a Mirana 4. Arc Warden, I think, mid. A Bounty Hunter carry of all things, and a CM off-lane. And this is going to go up against, obviously, probably a Void Lich. Again, I haven't seen it. T obviously definitely in the mid. Pango off-lane, and your Skywrath 4. And as we see the 4, and we're going to watch the positioning and everything, the first 10-15 minutes of the laning with this Omni. Going in with 6 Tangos, 2 Mangoes. Only thing that kind of sticks out to me is, do you get a Quelling Blade at one point? Because once you get the Quelling Blade, obviously you can start, you don't have to rely on your purification for the last hits, and you can kind of, you just use your right clicks to do that. Hang on, let me just, you actually fuck up the block. Oh, you tried to, or your camera work is, you can't even see your guy. Hang on. What is going on? How are you trying to make a block with the camera angle like that? Okay, anyways. So the camera angle sticks out to me. Hang on, let me just see. Make sure that... Oh, it might be an off-lane... Or sorry, an Omni 4. And he's going Heavenly Grace. Okay. And you're just running up on these fools with the Heavenly Grace, the heal and everything. But you missed that last hit. Come on, man. Alright, you got the other one. Nice arrow there. Okay, okay. But you're taking a lot of damage. You do need to respect this. When your Heavenly Grace is over, and now you're going to look to taunt him. Taunting him as Jesus really doesn't do much. Because he dies in the end. Yeah, he gets resurrected, but that's not cool to die, right? You don't want to be giving up first blood. But yeah, it's looking to be a Mirana 3. So, position 4 Omlane. Like, it's been... Okay, the clarity's been canceled. That was really nice by the Mirana. You've been bashed. Trying to zone out. I realize that you're trying to be aggressive, but it might have been better if you pulled instead. Okay. Now you're definitely late. Oh, what do you... Okay, so he's looking to push this, but you got to time it properly? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Tried to get it at the very, very end. Probably should pop a Tango here. Okay. If anything, the tomato was killed by the arrow. Very something that Mirana's going to be doing. You're looking to pull now. Again, we're going to be missing some... Yes, thank you, Acer Phoenix. I actually did a mic test. Because it was muted in the beginning, so it does happen quite a lot. But he does get the pull here. Mirana does need to be a bit careful. Heavenly Grace is not going to be used on Mirana, who's going to just kind of backpedal and tank it, probably under tower. Actually, you're probably in a better position to tank it than she is. But, you're going to leave her alone, because, but are you going to get any sort of... yes. Actually, this was requested by one of his buddies. He was saying that there was some suspect plays, maybe. But yeah, we're gonna look in this and see what he could have done better. So far, the body block really stuck out to me. The camera angle was kind of completely wonky. And you don't have purification. Wow, you've got degen aura. You really want to run up on these fools. Okay, the arrow does connect. Okay, you do a little bit of taunting action here. I really wish you had purification, because that would have been a really nice heal into a 2-man. But you're really relying on Heavenly Grace. I feel like this is like the old... If you had purification, you could have healed the dude. How do you play Omni without purification? Is that not the #1 skill you go in almost all of the guides? Hang on. Purification. Okay, definitely not off lane. But literally, how can you not go... Alright, that's an interesting one, actually. That's a really poorly rated. Hang on, where's the support? Let's see the first support. How do you not go purification? Like this... Okay, that doesn't even have any. But hang on. 86%? 80% win rate? Like, purification is your bread and butter. Right? Yo, I play a little bit of Omni myself. And not having purification is redonkulous. Yeah, you get to batch up on fools, but... Like, your items, like, if you don't even have, like, the bracer, you don't have the type that can, like, really trade with people. And all you can do is literally taunt. But I should be taunting you because you don't have purification. What is this? You have level 3. And you're not going to get purification. You're going to get Heavenly Grace. Level 2. HP regen is only 4 higher. Bonus strength is 7 higher as well. But, mate, like... The degen aura is not as good as it once was because it doesn't reduce the attack speed of everyone else. And all it does is the slow. And if you're walking into people, like, your chances of killing have nothing. You have, like, no burst, right? You have no heal, no way to really sustain in lane. And you're out of tangos. He's trying to do a pull here, so you stop that. Okay, great. All right, 435 right here. Probably the next big thing is, of course, going to be the rune. And now you're going to Heavenly Grace. You're going to try to run up on these foes. Like, what are your chances of literally running up on the guy and killing him with right clicks? Like, you don't have boots. You're the slowest guy on the field. Oh, my gosh. And you went Buckler. And Wand. Oh, Mother of God. Okay. I've talked about this again many times. And you relate to the rune, because, of course, you don't need runes. Or, sorry, boots. But if you're going to be position 4 or 5 as a support, the number one thing for you is is boots. Brown boots is so important. It's getting that movement speed. You're 305. You're literally maybe the slowest hero on the map right now. Hang on, let me just check this. 335. Lich is what? 295. Okay, he's a bit of a fail too, but he's a position 5. He's been struggling to get those brown boots, and they're not on the way. Okay. But yeah, I mean, he's a position 5, so I can kind of get that. But you're going to suffer. You're going to have a hard time because he's ranged, and he can kind of just kite you from afar, so to speak. But this makes you tanky, yes, but your 3.8 HP regen really isn't enough to keep you sustaining in lane, especially since the fact that you don't have purification. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of faults already. You're just going to run up on this Lich, just kind of do some right-click damage. But, like, again, like, you can't really burst him. Yeah, you zoned him out a little bit, but now you're out of mana. You don't have purification. Frost armor, you definitely can't fight into that. You're going to take damage and get slowed. I'm sure the Mirana's like, what the hell, man? What the, like, heal me. Heal somebody. Oh, no, you got a stick, so you can heal yourself. You got a wand? Heavenly Grace again? This is ridiculous. Yeah, you got to back up. You've got no regen. All right. Interesting. You've got the ward, but obviously we're okay. Oh, money. Oh, if you had boots. Oh, okay, you don't need boots to kill couriers. Good. That was a lucky kill, I'm gonna say. You gotta Heavenly Grace yourself. Let that regen of 17.5 slowly tick things through. Now you're screwed. Oh. If the Mirana didn't scare him away, could have done some damage there. Okay, so now, what are you going to do? Oh, mind you, you have a Crystal Maiden, so your mana issues aren't as bad as they could perceive to be. You know what I mean? Because you do have a little bit of regen, so you can kind of play with that. But, like, okay, the biggest thing about the Purification is the fact that, yes, it heals, but it also damages as well. And if you're level 4, you probably would have gotten what? You would have had at least 2 points in that, so about 160 both ways, and that's a bit of a swing, right? They lose 160, you gain 160, so you can play a little bit lower, you can play a little bit more aggressively, as opposed to this guy who's like, all right, I'm just like super melee creep, pray like Jesus, and I'd missed the last hit. 3 and 1, but yeah, this is an interesting. Is this the new meta? Am I seeing something wrong? Oh, you're gonna miss that. Let me see if you can run through. Mirana does end up killing the Lich. You missed it here. The pull. It's right under tower, but mind you, he's level 6. He does have Chrono. He's gonna bash you. Like, if he gets low at all, like, you need to respect the Faceless Void's Chrono. You've got 550 gold. Are you gonna buy boots? Because you should have brown boots at this point. Even Lich has brown boots, right? Does not have brown boots. What is this? Okay, Lich has got a whole slew of problems on her own. Or his own, excuse me. Arrow, nice. If you had the Purification, you would have secured that kill. Hang on, I'm just going to do the math. Right here. Hang on. Let's slow this down. Right, he was about here. 136, right? If we had Purification, 160 damage. Boom. That would have secured that kill. But instead, what do? You're like, nah, brah. I'm gonna go Heavenly Grace. Oh, I didn't even cast it. See, this is why Purification is very good, right? It heals, it helps you with sustaining in the lane, and it does way more of an impact. I mean, you only kind of need, like, the first level of Heavenly Grace, at least in the beginning. You max out Purification. I think that's the biggest thing. Even almost all of the guides. Like, look at this one. Like, you don't even, like, you get that value points, right? Heavenly Grace isn't really that good. I think that this is actually a really good build for the record. Oh, actually, hang on. This is the better build. And even then, like, you don't need level 6. You don't even need your Guardian Angel. So this has got tremendous value, right? If you want to start with the Heavenly Grace, fine. But the Purification actually pays off. And you could have secured that kill. Getting it on that Faceless Void right then, that would have been pretty huge for you. Now you're just going to roll up on this Lich. Oh, those bashes and the Frost Armor. Gotta leap away. Furball survives. Does have Chrono. You do need to respect. Oh, nice leap. Swashbuckle, the Rolling Thunder. Heavenly Grace on Mirana. And I think you're going to get caught out. Oh, Crystal Maiden is here. And he's going to Freezing Field this. Oh, but you get bashed. She stopped it. And the Chrono catches out on 2. You don't have the heal. If you had a Purification, you might have been able to turn that. But no, you're like, nah, brah. Nah, brah. I'm going to Heavenly Graces. We're going to slowly take this one out. Level 5, still no Purification. Wow. Stubborn to the end, man. And the sea. Okay, the Lich finally dies. The arrows. Okay, now you're going to scare the 10-minute runes. Where is Bounty? Alright. Okay, we're enough of your perspective, I think, at this point. Moonlight is going to actually buy time. Jeez. Okay. Not dead. I think that raindrop actually saved him in the end. Arc Warden is moving into position level 9. Tracks have been used. The slow up on the Skywrath. And here comes... Oh gosh. He's literally running up on these guys. With just Heavenly Grace? Like, what? You don't have boots, mate. What are you doing? Chain Frost. Oh, into the double. Oh, it's so painful. So painful. The Arc Warden double just standing still right next to each other. That's a bit of an issue. Obviously, when you're Arc Warden, you want to kind of micro them a little bit. They're not like Meepos in the sense that, and you do need to respect the fact that there's Chrono, there's the Chain Frost. So definitely, yeah, you got to kind of space yourself out a little bit better on that one. Okay, so Mirana, though, is going to get Diffusal. Up first has Treads already. It's kind of on her way, but my god, level 6, still no Purification. And not even the, you know what I mean? Like, some people will freak out and be like, oh, okay, I'll just get Guardian Angel because, you know, when the Chrono happens, I can just kind of walk next to the Chrono and just save everybody. But nah, bro. I'm going this Heavenly Grace. And I'm going to continue to fight. I don't care how weak people think I am. Track is here. Sorry, the Bounty, that is. I mean, I just call him by his name because that's pretty much what he is. Oh, he tried to go for the kill. Oh, he sidesteps the Skywrath ult. He's going to back up now. He does have Guardian Angel if he wants to go. I have never seen this build. A level 7 Omni Knight with no Purification. This is crazy to me. This is an ancient level player for the record. So maybe there's a new meta. I don't know. Maybe I've been playing Omni wrong the entire time. You know, I only have like a 63% win rate with this hero. So maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to test this out for the sake of science. TPs are coming. TA is now here, but Bounty don't want to walk into that. He's gonna have the drums on the way. And through that all, they don't have dust. Like, yo, Dire. Like, if you know, why is this guy fighting? The Guardian Angel's not going to be used. Rolling Thunder as well. And they're going to look to fights, but this Bounty just getting control. The Freezing Field is doing a little bit of work, but the Chrono does catch up with the Bounty Hunter in the end. And it finally kicks him out. Mirana dies. Omni is still like, hey, I thought, no, where did everyone go? No, we're going to run? All right. But although Heavenly Grace is keeping him alive, yeah, he's going to die now. Okay, but the Pango swashbuckles and does end up securing the kill. Arc Warden is now here. Skywrath is coming as well. Are they going to do the juke? They get the silence up on the right, the clone that is. And they're kind of juking around. Moonlight is being used. They find the Skywrath who's been arrowed. And that's going to secure that kill. So, were you baited? I don't even know. This is how SEA plays. It's constant T-fights. So it looks like Bounty's... This is the Bounty 1, by the way. They do have a sentry. It's going to be a little obvious considering they hit him out of stealth. But Mirana here almost has Diffusal, which is not bad. Let's go talk about net worth right now. Mirana leading on the team. So Furball here proving that, you know, I don't need a good support or whatever to follow me, and I don't need Purification. I can just farm on my own. Last hits wise, 62 and 10, 63 and 10. That's actually really good. That's actually really good. Okay. literally a better offlaner than I am. So, all right. So Bounty here, looking to fight this Faceless. He does have the track. Oh, he's so low. Time walks. Trying to. If you had Purification, you could have killed this guy again. What are you going to do? You're going to Heavenly Grace him. Oh, we're going to bash. And I'm going to stick under the alt. Survives in that one. Oh, now he gets Purification. Level 1, not doing enough, especially at this stage of the game. 14 minutes in. Skywrath is very, very low. Bounty wants him, though, and does end up killing him. He's going to go stealth again. One more time to just kind of mix things up. The Freezing Field. No, but the Rolling Thunder stops that. The Chain Frost bouncing all over all the neutrals. And is Bounty going to survive? Oh, the Chain Frost. So unlucky. Bounces from the creep, the neutral creep, onto him again as he pops out of stealth. He was looking for that one last hit against the Lich, and unfortunately does not get it. Okay, Arc Warden here just going to go Midas. He does have a Trusty Shovel. He's not been spamming that on Q, which he should be. Like, to be honest, I'm not even sure, but the Arc Warden clone, does he get all the neutral items as well? Like, would he get 2 Trusty Shovels? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Again, I don't play any of these, like, neutral, or, sorry, these, clone type heroes. I have a hard enough time controlling one hero. Why would I want to control 2, right? But Elo actually scouts out the Roche here. In terms of vision, I feel like the Radiant are really suffering. It's very, very dark. As opposed to the Dire, I mean, not the best. I mean, they're kind of defensive here, but the fact that they have the T1 really shows the vision advantage that they have. TPs are coming bottom. The Rolling Thunder, they do find out the Bounty. They do. Moonlight is a little bit slow. I don't know if he was dusted. He might have been. But Bounty going, what the hell? 2 sets of drums. What's better than 1 drum? 2. And, okay. The reason for this is that obviously the charges are there. They don't, like, obviously you can only pop 1 charge at a time. But the thing is that the value of this item for the amount of gold that it's cost, I think it's like 1,400 gold or whatever, is actually quite high. And if you're going to go mid-tier, you know, Bounty, this is one way. If you want to constantly just skirmish and fight, this is one way to do it. I don't recommend it all the time, especially without purpose, especially if you're behind as well. And speaking of which, he is behind, but he's back now. But this is the type where he wants to get some good ganks off. Swashbuckle on that first one. The Freezing Field does end up just silencing him, and the Chrono catches out both of them. They walked into that trap, and the CM goes down. The Bounty as well, 2 down so far. And while there's a 3k net worth lead for the Radiant, I think most of it is going to be through the Mirana and the Arc Warden. Oh, Mirana is in position, does not have Moonlight here, trying to leap forward. Is going to leap on the other way. And yeah, it does die in the end. Level 1 Purification, but probably needed the Guardian Angel more than anything else. And Omni Knight will die here. That's going to be a bottom T1, and they're going to continue to push on forward. Naked Javelin on the Pangolier, I like that. Does a lot of damage with the Swashbuckle. Obviously being spread around, so the value is there. You don't technically have to go Maelstrom if you don't want. Just because the amount of attacks that you get, and it's just spread around. So, okay. But another thing that Bounty is really good at is, of course, coming back. If they're not taking towers, the Dire that is, this is not really a team. I mean, the Faceless Void is almost always good. I think that he's the hero of the patch. But the TA does fall off in the end. So the fact that she's only got Desolator at this point, 17 minutes, is a testament to the laning that she had against the Arc Warden. And if we're seeing the net worth, obviously the Arc Warden was a little bit of up. The fact that he's got Midas should further accelerate that. But the TA does not want to go late game. That's usually how it is, because of the fact that, like, I mean, even if you get BKB and you're, like, almost invincible with Refract and Shield, you fall off. Like, the charges go down, and you end up not, like, your Glass Cannon, that has a shelf life, so to speak. And especially against a Bounty, which, at least in terms of comeback potential, is there, because track, obviously the amount of gold that you get is quite high. Because if they start farming a lot, and they get a lead, oh, we didn't get the track off. He's going to meld on in TP. Oh! The Pango swashbuckles out of that one, and he's fine for now. Moonlight is being used. Rolling Thunder as well. The Freezing Field is going to just get knocked out. Guardian Angel is not going to be used, but for what? He actually kills the trap. The Chain Frost is now just going to only connect on the Omni, but it's going to just retreat here. All of them, the heroes are fighting. The Arc Warden is now into place. The TA is actually getting frozen by that frostbite. It's trying to meld on through, but the track kind of nullifies all of that. The DD Arc Warden looking to pay off in spades. He does die. His clone's still there. Silence Under Tower probably will fall in the end. The Bounty's going to throw a Shuriken. Hadouken. And does not end up killing anyone. The arrow off the mark. But they're kind of moving around. They still want to see what they can find. They do see the sky, and they're going to go for him. 2 shots. Swashbuckle. Not enough. And here comes the Corona. Right? Arrow does connect, but really, you got 1 leap. And the bashes. That's it. Alright, so if we're talking about net worth, bottom, Lich, which we talked about, was not having the greatest start. The fact that he actually bought tangos and consumables I thought was a really not the right item choice. Because you need to get brown boots, you need to get some sort of stats, some things that will help you long term, right? Consumables really aren't the key to that. Alright, so 20 minutes here. A lot of fighting back and forth, but when you have an Arc Warden, I feel like you're still kind of in the game. Obviously, you want to snowball, get things going, kind of like that Alchemist style. You got to be super greedy, just push out as many of the different lanes as possible. But the Faceless got the MOM, Maelstrom as well. It's going to go into Mjolnir. BKB right after that, and my gosh, he's got like his next 3 years planned in terms of his itemization. So, I like it, right? Because at the end of the day, you can quick buy things, but you just got to make sure you buy them in the right orders. Did I miss the hilarious? No. This entire game has been hilarious. The fact that this Omni Knight didn't get purification until, I think, level 8 while in lane as a support Omni Knight. Yeah, there was just a lot of, but, like, not the greatest of lanes, so to speak. And he's been casting Heavenly Grace on himself like a boss. They're going to go for this. The arrow misses. T1 is going to now be glyphed here. And he actually went the most dangerous route possible. He's going to purify himself, but he's only level 1. He Heavenly Graces himself, and the Moonlight has to be used just to save the Omni, who doesn't even have Guardian Angel. The Chain Frost is bouncing. No, it only connects on the 1. They do catch the Bounty, who's been Sinister Gaze. He's going to be spotted on out. He does die. This is probably... Oh, they do get the arrow, and now the Freezing Field into a Glimmer, which is pretty nice, and that will zone them away. The Pengo's running for his life. The Arc Warden is kind of just chilling in his bubble. In his quarantine bubble, and here comes the Guardian Angel. That should turn all of that. Yeah, the TA thought he was strong, but man, that Guardian Angel can kind of do work. You do need to respect that. And it looks like they're going to retreat for now. They're slowing down the TA. They do want to get him. The Spark Ghost race does kill him in the end. Pengo's looking to run now. Mind you, Pengo does have the what is this thing called? The Heaven's Halberd. So something to note, especially when the bounty's going. The arrow! I was going to say, that was the longest of ranges of arrows. And if you walked into that... Alright, here we go. So, Arc Warden's looking to TP mid. Does have Midas, one thing to note. Got to use it off cooldown. Does do so. Bounty now. Aside from the fact that you're collecting Mithril Hammers, first Desolator into a BKB. But yeah, he does need some sort of magic immunity, I think, at this point. BKB would be definitely... on that list of things to buy, especially looking to fight in. But yes, the CM here does have Glimmer. That was a nice freezing field. I'm going to give props to that one. I mean, it did some zoning, obviously, not really in terms of the kill, so to speak. Alright, excellent. Yeah, don't worry. They don't have track. Okay, there we go. Okay, he's going to get Atos. Something he does need to be careful about. Heavenly Grace is now going to be used. But yeah, that should be the end of that. Arc Warden looking to push the top lane. Does have Mjolnir. I think this is a classic build. Mirana does have Diffusal and Maelstrom. So in terms of net worth, she's really doing her job, right? Especially since this bounty really hasn't had the highest of impacts. And it's popping those drum charges like they're Tic Tacs. And he's going to go back into the jungle. For the record, I'm not a huge fan of bounty carry, but, you know, it is what it is. Maybe he's doing a little bit of testing here. Okay. Scouting out the Roche, that seemed weird. I mean, they had a trap there. So, that swashbuckle was a little unnecessary. Maybe he's showing off. Hi, Windows Phone user. Windows Phone user. What was the game? And also, is your name different than what it might be online, like on another platform? But no, mind you, I will get to your game. Yeah, let me know what the game ID was, or tell me your ID, because that might be why I don't know. All right, but a dust up here, and they're all kind of chilling. They're kind of waiting around. They do ping things out. The next big objective is gonna be Roche. I mean, they're posturing for it. And they do see this Omni. I think I saw a ping. But I don't think you want to commit really this. Okay, it looks like they're going to go for it. By go for it, I mean go straight for that neutral camp. Because the smoke was pretty much over. They wasted a lot of time. Alright, cool. What hero were you? Yeah, I remember the name. Windows Phone user. How can I forget that? But are you really a Windows Phone user? Like. Alright, so bounty here. Nighttime as well. Did not actually track it because he didn't want to give away his position. Does need to be a little bit careful. It's 25 minutes here. TA has Blink now, finally. It's going to go force into Hurricane Pike. Fine. But you want to just blow people up. That's like her thing, right? And I feel like she's not really... her impact hasn't really been there. And I don't know, it seems like a really awkward fight to go in, because you got your Chrono. You definitely want a Chrono. I mean, you want to probably focus the Omni first, just because of the fact that the Guardian Angel kind of nullifies a lot of the damage. Rolling Thunder will probably start things off. The Chrono to kind of catch everybody. But the TA has got so short range that it's kind of like one of those heroes where it doesn't complement as well with the Faceless Void, because the Chrono has to be in the perfect spot so that, you know what I mean, like the TA can hit the guy from outside of the Chrono. Ooh, that arrow. I was like moving my body as if like I can control the Faceless Void with my head. But, oh, the DD gets denied. A little bit of disrespect there. That's fine. But, yeah, definitely giving up the DD to a Faceless Void a little bit of an issue. Just because of the amount of damage you can do. This is definitely the one hero you do need to control. And you need to save that Omni, or the Guardian Angel for that Chrono that's eventually going to come out. But yeah, the Dire, it seems like we've kind of gotten to a slow phase. Nobody really wants to overcommit. The lanes are kind of equal in that sense in terms of push. Skywrath does have his Atos, which could lock people into place. Mind you, I think that the biggest one is... less fan of Void in these low games? Yeah. Well, I mean, this is ancient level. I still feel like Void is very strong, but you do need to... oh, yeah. Like, I'm assuming you're talking about the Void being on your own team. Oh, the smoke has been popped. They do find him, and the CM is up front. Moonlight is going to be used instantly, but they've got a two-man dust. The Chrono only catches on the Omni Knight, and they'll take that any day of the week. Time to retreat. Freezing Field is on the back end with the Moonlight doing a lot of work, and yeah, he's going to fall into that. He's going to die, but the Pango actually went in a little too far. Does die as well, and it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a retreat. The Spark Wraith, the Wraith that is going to do a little bit of damage to the Lich. It's going to blow him up, so it's a 2 for 2. Supports for supports. Support life. This is how you play. And it looks like that was not the best of Chronos there, catching only the Omni. He thought he could be, he could catch out more than one. But the thing is that there was really a lack of vision, you know? I'm not talking strategy and like long-term thinking. I'm talking more of the fact that there was really a lack of vision. Like in this tree, like this tree line, they didn't really see where everybody was. So it was very patient by the Radiant of making sure that nobody really got caught out. Yeah, that was a... I mean, at the end of the day, 2 for 2, right? The CM was walking up front. I don't know if CM really fucked up, because that's the kind of thing where she tanked the smoke, right? And it's like, I think that's fine as a support. If anything's going to happen, I think that's fine. So, for me, it was the more the fact of, like, if Faceless was a little bit more patient, that Rolling Thunder was still continuing to roll on through, and he was looking for the other heroes in the back. If he waited a little bit longer... And they do catch out the Mirana here, who's going to kind of walk away. It's going to be glimmered. The CM is going to sacrifice her life for that. Heavenly Grace is going to keep the Mirana up for a little bit. They do see the bounty. He's been dusted on up. They don't have a chrono for this, but they do have a trap that's going to slow him down. Thank you so much for the follow. And here comes the BKB is now going to be used for the bounty, and he's looking to turn this, and wow, that TA gets decimated. The Omni Knight is going to run, but no, he's got nowhere to go. He's going to be bashed up. He's going to be killed. The track has been used on the Pango, and this bounty is looking to continue to fight, but he's going to not want to go up to high ground. Moonlight has now been used. The arrow is going to miss. It's going to be too far behind. And yeah, it looks like they're going to continue to push on forward here. They do have a little bit of a Moonlight. I mean, they killed the TA. They've lost both their supports. But it looks like the Radiant team think that they're stronger. I mean, they have a higher net worth lead. They have Scotty, excuse me. I totally missed that, on the Arc Warden. Arrow does connect on the Faceless Void and Sparkle with Wraith. And the track and all the shuriken damage does lock him in. But the bounty actually goes down. But they traded life with the Faceless Void. The Sinister Gaze is going to actually pull the Arc Warden in. He creates his bubble, his quarantine bubble, and he's like, all right, come at me, bro. Coronavirus, I'll throw it at you. Boom. And that's going to be the tower. The buyback comes in from the Pango. Rolling Thunder is now being used, and the Arc Warden is looking to just stand and fight, and he's going to at least take out the Skywrath. And the clone is there. The Rolling Thunder will end up probably killing both in the end, so he sacrifices himself, and yeah, that was just unnecessary dust there. But, okay. So this Omni is going to go straight up Mech, Arcane Boots, Glimmer we've already talked about, Aeon Disc. I think that's a good item actually, because she keeps getting blown up, right? Anybody that gets Chrono, the fact that like, if you have Aeon Disc, it kind of like, it messes with the entire Chrono, right? Like you can't get bursted down in that time frame, and by the time the Chrono is ending, I mean, obviously they can stack stuns and stuff like that, but generally speaking, your chances of survival are much higher than without it, of course. But, okay, he's going to go Arcane Boots, Mech into Aether Lens. The Bounty, on the other hand, has got a BKB, which we saw the first one. Actually, that fight ended up being a lot worse than it was because of the fact that he didn't have his BKB for the second round. So you need to fight again. If you're going to, I mean, he ended up pulling out the first victory, so to speak, by killing the TA because he had that BKB in the beginning. But they continue to push their advantage and not realizing the cooldowns on the PKB, and they ended up paying with their life, right? Yeah, you can just DM me. Just send it to me on Twitch. You can send it here. I just have like a backlog of games. I prefer Reddit just because I feel like it's a lot easier for me. But you know, you just DM me here, and I'll just put it I'll put it in the backlog, so to speak. But okay, BKB being next for the Faceless Void, I think that's fine. There's a lot of magic damage. It's surprising. They do need some way to kind of deal with this Arc Warden at the end of the day. I think that he's like the biggest, like the scariest opponent, I would say, on that team. They do need to catch it out. But yeah, don't worry. I'll put it up on YouTube. But yeah, so it's coming through here. And it's 11k net worth lead, and they're going to look to take the top T1. Mind you, the T2s have all kind of stood still. It's been kind of like a cagey fight. I mean, there have been definitely some skirmishes and fights like that, but like nothing to really take towers. And Moonlight is going to be used here. And what is, okay, so they're kind of moving in. Okay, he's going to actually show vision because he's going to ward there. And he's going to alert everybody's, you know, everybody's going to know that he's coming. Heavenly Grace is the bounty. Is looking to go in. They do have some tracks up. They do catch out the Pango, the Shuriken. It's going to bounce through, and it looks like it's an all... I don't know if this is going to be a fake back or if this is in a full-out retreat, but they're continuing to move on back. They do have a couple tracks that are starting to expire. There were 3 heroes, at least at that time. But yes. Level 3 at 33 minutes. And he had just gotten level 3. But yes. Alright, so an Atos up with the Skywrath Mage we've talked, but he does have Gem. So I don't think he's the best Gem carrier, because the fact that he's kind of squishy, and he's literally died the most in this game next to the Bounty. But yeah, I guess he's going to be like the sentry at the front, who's going to get killed. Probably give up that sentry right away. Oh, found. Nice silence into the alt, and the Aeon Disc will be popped the first time. Pops the first cherry. And Fishy will just back up to the high ground. It should be fine. And that's the power of the Aeon Disc, so to speak. 82 more seconds. Cooldown there. Faceless Void almost has BKB. 34 minutes, that seems a bit late. But yeah, I mean, in terms of net worth, Faceless Void is still tops of the team. But this Mirana, man, has been balling out. Getting good items. Farming really, really well. I mean, look at this compared to, like, the Bounty, right? The Bounty really hasn't gotten it going. I mean, he's had the 2-drum build. I mean, 1 for each hand, right? He's going to hit 2 drums. Like, that's probably the way he's going to start beating those things. But does not actually have any TPs. The Omni, on the other hand, is just going to be walking around. Heavenly Grace has just been like, hey, guys, I'm an Omni. I want to make a joke about the fact that he's like a Catholic priest, just like walking around looking for boys, but that would be inappropriate. All right, nonetheless, Mirana's going to push the mid lane. Faceless does have Chrono, and I feel like if you have one of these ultimates, like, you want to kind of be using this off cooldown whenever it's available. Like, I feel like this is a missed opportunity. Like, you want to push your advantage when you have it, right? You farm back in the jungle when it's on cooldown, but you take advantage of it when it's off, right? And again, forcing your TA to be somewhat defensive, the fact that she has, Dragon Scale, not really having the greatest of games, and not really something that you need to fear, so to speak, because she is kind of squishy, right? Does she even have BKB? No, she doesn't have BKB yet. She could buy it out, but I think she's saving up for buyback. The actual Game Pass bounties are starting to be placed. Excellent. You might as well get as many points as you can, something that I actually lack in my game. I actually don't play enough of the soccer thing, or I keep kicking the ball into the trees when I do remember. I think I need 1 more goal to get to the next level with my achievement, so I'm a terrible soccer player. Or my enemy teams are like all goalkeepers. They do see this clone, who should expire. I mean, it's got a while before he expires, but he's pushing the lane here. Yeah, okay, goes away there. Excellent. Omni with a Guardian, Greaves, Wand. What else do you need? I have 6 slots, but no. I just want 2 items. Alright, and they're both activatable, right? So you got to give them props for that. They found it. Okay, Bounty is going to have to BKB to get out of that. He's going to turn this around. He does track up the first time, but the BK is being used, and they're going to kind of back away, wait for that thing to expire. He's going to Shadow Walk here. I think there is vision. This is a sentry, right? Yes. So, yes, they do see it. Mirana and Arc Warden, at least the clone, are starting to push the mid and the bottom lane, creating a lot of space. So the longer they delay the Dire team, the more advantage that they're going to have. Because somebody does need to react. Right now, you see the TP's coming, right? Like, they see this. So that they know that these guys are now, they don't have a Faceless Void because he TP'd away. So if there's ever a time... Okay, yeah. If they could have done an initiation there, if they could have gotten them, caught some people, that would have been pretty sick. But this is the power of pushing the lanes, right? You can force rotations because somebody at the end of the day needs to come back and kind of deal with all that. Alright, so it looks like the Roche Call has been used. Or made, excuse me. He's going to get Basher on the Bounty Hunter. And the Magic Shield will kind of just keep him safe, at least. With Heavenly Grace and everything, the Bounty doing a lot of work. It was for the sake of this purpose of this replay, it will be the Omni Knight. Yeah. So yeah. So it looks like he's going to just push it out, bait a little bit, create a little bit of pressure elsewhere. But an Invis has now been used. Omni is like, all right, Catholic priest time. I'm going to go Invis. Where are all the boys? Let's go. Let's go. He's looking around. Does have Aether lined up. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really think that, like, even if the Omni saw somebody out of position, like, what is he going to do? He's going to, like, Purify, like, Heavenly Grace himself and just right-click him, right? Like, he doesn't really have, like, he needs backup, so to speak, to secure any sort of kill. So, obviously, he was probably just scouting at this point. But if we're talking about vision game, I feel like the Radiant are kind of lacking. Like, they've created a lot of map pressure. Arrow, okay, misses there. The Magnetic Shield from the low ground to the high ground. The Frost Armor just trying to slow this down as much as possible. But, man, he provides his clone there. been silenced. The one more. The Chrono is now being used. The Heavenly Grace, sorry, the Guardian Angel will stop majority of that. The Chain Frost is going to bounce around. The BKB Moonlight has now been used. The Chain Frost is still bouncing around, but majority of the cores have BKB. They should be fine. And the Arc Warden is just fighting in the middle of this. The the CM was going to use Freezing Field, and they got the TA, so that's something. They did not pop. Sorry, they did not pop the. Did they pop the Aegis? No, they did not. Okay, so I was clicking the wrong hero. But Guardian Angel's on cooldown now, so they need to be a little bit more careful, but they have a hero advantage. So how did they proceed? Obviously, the shield is the magnetic bubble is going to provide a lot of space. The Bounty Hunter does need to be a bit careful. With no BKB, he's been silenced here. The Heavenly Grace is still on him, and yeah, they're doing some quick work on this mid-racks, doing a lot. The CM is a little too far up, but just providing space for the Arc Wardens to knock out those mid-raxes. And it looks like the Dire team are going to just kind of retreat a little bit now. This Arc Warden's like, all right, I'm just going to fall apart here, literally at the seams. And it looks like they're going to look to take the T2 top. I'm surprised, though, that the Radiant haven't taken the Outpost. I feel like that's a strategic objective that they could have done probably before the 40 minutes, denying a little bit of XP. But, you know, hey, when you have hindsight, you see everything. And, of course, it's 2020. But something to note, right? How do you get better? These are the types of little micro plays. Even taking that outpost going up to the high ground could have, you know, I don't think it's gonna, you know, win you the game, but it's gonna give you an advantage, so to speak. So BKB on Faceless Void here. Small price for salvation. Yes, who needs global ult when you can W further? That's true. That's true. I agree with that. But somehow this Skywrath hasn't given up the gem yet. Mind you, it's gotten super dark in the room, just because it's starting to rain out here. But that's real life. Who cares about real life? Wow, this Arc Warden is pretty much 7 items. He's going to just kind of swap out the Midas to just continue to farm in terms of net worth. Obviously, he's very, very high with 27,000 net worth. But it looks like they're going to be looking to push at least the top lane. Does need to be a little bit careful. Heavenly Grace is being used on you as well. You've been forced on back just to help you farm. Okay. Looks like you're going to continue to up here. And the Illusion is just slowly pushing out the bottom lane. The Clone is going to be the first one. I did see, okay, the BKB on the Clone. Frost Armor just kind of slowing that down a little bit. But, I mean, any sort of damage that you do, any sort of chip damage is definitely worth it in the end. They got the track up on the Pango, and as well as the TA, which is pretty good. The BKB is now being used on the real Arc Warden. The Rolling Thunder is now being used. Oh, he actually time-walked, and he got stuck by the wall. He was looking for that Chrono, probably. But he backs up now. The Rolling Thunder is actually going to have to roll on back. Agent Driver on the way. Track. He's going to try to get to the high ground, get himself back up, and he actually dissuades that. But that was a missed opportunity there. Now you've got Rolling Thunder on cooldown for another 50 seconds. You're going to probably lose top racks at this point. Yes, your Faceless Void does have Chrono, but man, that was probably that point where you could have gotten probably about 3 heroes, I think. So, all right, it looks like you're going to just take the top racks with ease, with the bubble, the quarantine bubble. And yeah, you should probably just, this clone will just die. It doesn't really matter. And he does. Yeah, I gave up a little bit of gold, but you traded the rack, so that's a fair trade. Oh, you do have track up on the Faceless Void. Arrow's going to miss. Okay, almost hit the Lich. All right. And it looks like you're going to back up and probably make your way to the bottom lane, while the top lane is still pushing in. I like the fact that the illusions have been there. Like, Mirana's been kind of all over the place. Like, although she hasn't been getting the 3-arrow thing. When is it 3-arrow? 25? She's 23 right now. Okay. So this is going to be the bottom 2. Not really much you can do, especially since you were here and you had a bit of a skirmish and you actually didn't commit for it. So it's going to be interesting seeing how at the end. All right, so here we go. Here we go. By the way, Silence Play is not actually the Omni in this game, for the record. But okay, the Rolling Thunder again has been used, and the Chrono does catch out on 2. That's the Omni that you want to do. The Moonlight is going to be there, but I think Bounty, oh, he survives. BKBs survives at the very, very end. Mirana's somehow still alive, and the Faceless Void actually time walks, but very little damage is there. The Chain Frost actually stopped. The Pango is going to be trying to run away, but the Frostbite locks him into place. And he dies in the end, and that's an ultra kill for the Arc Warden. Does he give him the Rampage? Give him the Rampage. Lich is walking to this. Give him the Rampage. No? No? No, not like this? Frost Armor on that tower one other time. Arrow. This is... BKB is going to be used, but this is going to be... just kind of scurry him away, and that should be nice and safe. Rax. There we go. Both of them falter. And the Pango, you got Megas. You can hear the big horn. And they do catch the arrow, and the Pango does die in the end. The bounty kills the Lich. And that should be pretty much GG. No buybacks. I mean, Lich and the TA, but at this point, like the TA, this is the thing, right? Late game, how is this hero, who's literally the 5th, gonna ever fight with the Arc Warden late game, right? Like, this is the thing where it's just not gonna happen. So you have to win early to mid game. All right, nonetheless, 34, 32, 44, 51. 40k net worth lead. That was actually pretty sizable. I think the Arc Warden just kind of pulled that one out, especially since you have a bounty hunter here, who kind of, I mean, got some kills and stuff like that. Did a decent amount of damage. Obviously, you know, 3rd on that list, but he did struggle. He did struggle. I think Elo, we talked enough, and we did a little bit of bashing there, but I think the laning really needs work, especially with that skill build, right? What is this skill build? I don't think in the history of Dota this has ever been done. Like, this is why you play this hero. And the fact that he didn't get to level 8, he had a level 2 purification at level 11. Okay? As an Omni player, this kills me, man. This kills me. All right? But anyways, if you like what I do, please give a like and subscribe. Obviously on my YouTube. You can find me on Twitch. I do this every single day, weekdays at 1 to 4 plus 8 GMT. I will catch you guys next time. My name is Hauler. You can find me at Hauler TV, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in.